Ah, bacon. That irresistible sizzle, the smoky aroma wafting through your kitchen, and the crispy bite that makes breakfast feel like a warm hug. Whether it's paired with eggs, stacked on pancakes, or layered in a juicy burger, bacon isn't just food, it's comfort, nostalgia, and pure joy on a plate. But what if I told you that the bacon sitting in your fridge might be hiding some unsettling secrets? Behind those shiny packages and tempting labels like hardwood smoked or premium cut, many grocery store bacon brands are serving up more than just flavor. We're talking about chemical preservatives, synthetic additives, and questionable meat sourcing practices that could be doing more harm to your health than you realize. Some brands use liquid smoke flavoring instead of real smoke, masking low-quality meat with artificial taste. Others pack their bacon with sodium nitrite, a chemical linked to heart problems and even cancer risks when consumed in excess. And it doesn't stop there. From contamination recalls to misleading labels and factory farm abuses, the truth about some of these brands is far from appetizing. What should be a simple, wholesome food, pork, salts, smoke, has been turned into a hyper-processed product loaded with fillers, excess sodium, and preservatives designed to stretch shelf life, not quality. So, before you toss that next pack into your cart, take a moment. Today, we're exposing 7 grocery store bacon brands you should avoid at all costs. Stick around until the end because we'll also reveal a few brands that are actually safe, made with real ingredients, cleaner methods, and flavor that doesn't come at the expense of your health. Let's dive in. 1. Great Value Bacon, Walmart brand. When you're strolling through the grocery aisles, it's hard not to notice Walmart's Great Value Bacon. The low price tag practically jumps off the shelf, promising a big pack of bacon for just a few dollars less than the competition. But here's the thing, when it comes to bacon, cheaper doesn't always mean better. In fact, in this case, it can mean worse for your health, your taste buds, and even your wallet in the long run. Let's start with what's inside. Flip over the package and you'll find a laundry list of additives that have no business being in your breakfast. Sodium nitrite, sodium erythorbate, and artificial smoke flavoring are just a few of the culprits. These aren't there to enhance the quality, they're there to make the bacon look pinker, last longer, and smell smoky even if it's never been near a real wood smoker. The problem, when bacon cured with sodium nitrite is cooked at high temperatures, it can form nitrosamines, compounds linked to cancer. And then there's the sodium content. Just 2 slices of Great Value Bacon pack over 400 milligrams of sodium, which is nearly 20% of your recommended daily intake. But let's be real, who stops at 2 slices? Most people eat 3 or 4 in a single serving, especially at breakfast. That means you're consuming close to your daily sodium limit before you've even finished your first meal. Over time, this kind of sodium overload can lead to high blood pressure, heart disease, and kidney strain. But the issues don't stop there. When you cook Great Value Bacon, you'll notice something frustrating. It shrinks dramatically, losing nearly half its size and leaving behind a puddle of grease. Why? Because the bacon is injected with water and salt brine to make it appear thicker and juicier in the package. Essentially, you're paying for added liquid, not real meat. Once that water evaporates during cooking, all you're left with is a thin, greasy strip that's more fat than flavor. The taste? Overly salty, with a chemical aftertaste. The texture? Uneven and disappointing. It's the kind of bacon that smells good in the pan but leaves you regretting your choice once it's on your plate. So while Great Value might seem like a bargain, it's actually a bad deal for your body and your breakfast. Between the additives, low meat quality, and excess sodium, this is one bacon brand you should absolutely avoid. 2. Oscar Mayer Bacon. For decades, Oscar Mayer has been a household name in the bacon world. The catchy jingles, the bright yellow packaging, and the nostalgia it brings make it feel like a trusted family classic. But behind that familiar label lies a product that's more about marketing than quality. Let's talk about flavor. Oscar Mayer built its reputation on consistency and taste, but here's the catch: that flavor doesn't come naturally. Most of their bacon products are loaded with artificial smoke flavoring, preservatives, and flavor enhancers. That smoky aroma you smell when it sizzles in the pan, it's not the result of traditional smoking methods, it's chemistry. One of the biggest red flags is sodium nitrite, a chemical preservative used to keep the bacon pink and extend its shelf life. While it might make the bacon look appealing, it comes with a dark side. When cooked at high temperatures, sodium nitrite can react with fats and proteins to form nitrosamines, compounds linked to an increased risk of cancer, particularly in the colon and stomach. And then there's the fat-to-meat ratio. Many Oscar Mayer bacon varieties, especially the regular cut options, are notoriously fatty. After cooking, you're left with more grease than actual bacon. Even their healthier options, like the naturally hardwood smoked or center-cut versions, still come with sky-high sodium and fat content. We're talking 380 to 450 milligrams of sodium per 2 slices and about 7 grams of fat. For something that barely fills your plate, that's a heavy hit to your heart and arteries. In recent years, Oscar Mayer has tried to clean up its image with no sugar added and uncured versions. But don't be fooled. Many of these are still cured using celery powder, which naturally contains nitrates. So while the label might look cleaner, the end result inside your body is the same. What's worse, Oscar Mayer's parent company, Kraft Heinz, has faced backlash for misleading claims about no artificial preservatives on some of its processed meats. Turns out they were using natural nitrate alternatives that do the exact same thing. So while Oscar Mayer might be America's bacon mascot, the reality is far less appetizing. Between the chemical curing agents, artificial smoke, and greasy cuts, this is one nostalgic name you'll have to leave behind if you're serious about eating cleaner. 3. Hormel Black Label Bacon. When you see Hormel Black Label Bacon on the shelf, it's easy to think you're getting a premium product. The sleek black packaging, the bold lettering, and the thick-cut claims all scream quality. But don't let the marketing fool you. This bacon is far from gourmet. Hormel proudly advertises real hardwood smoke on its label, but the reality is a bit more complicated. While their bacon does go through a smoking process, much of the flavor actually comes from liquid smoke and chemical flavor enhancers. The result, bacon that tastes smoky but lacks the depth and authenticity of a naturally cured, slow-smoked product. The ingredient list is another red flag. Sodium erythorbate, sodium nitrite, and sodium phosphate are just a few of the chemicals you'll find. Sodium phosphate, for example, is used to bind moisture and make the bacon appear plumper, but it's also been linked to kidney strain when consumed regularly. And sodium nitrite, you guessed it, it forms nitrous amines when exposed to high heat, which are known to have carcinogenic potential. Nutritionally, Hormel Black Label Bacon is a poor trade-off. Just 2 slices pack around 370 milligrams of sodium, 7 grams of fat, and only about 2 grams of protein. Most people eat 4 or 5 slices in a sitting, doubling those numbers without even realizing it. Even more concerning, Hormel has faced scrutiny for recalls related to possible contamination in some of its pork products. While these issues aren't exclusive to the Black Label line, they do raise questions about the brand's overall quality control and ingredient sourcing. When you cook Hormel Black Label Bacon, you'll notice heavy shrinkage, uneven crisping, and excessive grease. The fat melts away quickly, leaving behind small, salty strips that taste more chemical than smoky. So, while the packaging might make you feel like you're buying something special, the reality is just another heavily processed sodium-loaded product. 4. Smithfield Bacon. Smithfield is one of the biggest names in bacon, with its products found in nearly every grocery store across America. The packaging proudly proclaims it as America's favorite bacon, but what it doesn't tell you is the long list of controversies surrounding its ingredients, sourcing, and safety. Smithfield's bacon starts with a simple enough process, curing pork belly with water, salt, sugar, and sodium nitrite. But here's where things go downhill. Each slice is heavily injected with brine to boost its weight, meaning you're paying for extra water, not extra meat. Once cooked, that water evaporates, leaving you with bacon that shrinks dramatically and turns greasy instead of crisp. The sodium levels are another major issue. Just 2 slices contain around 430 milligrams of sodium, nearly 20% of your daily limit. And let's be honest, no one stops at 2 slices. Add in the high saturated fat content, often 7 to 8 grams per serving, and you've got a breakfast food that's practically engineered to spike your blood pressure and cholesterol. But the problems don't stop at health concern. Smithfield, owned by China-based WH Group, has faced major backlash for its factory farming practices. Overcrowded conditions, overuse of antibiotics, and questionable sanitation in processing facilities are just the tip of the iceberg. The company has also been investigated for environmental violations and animal welfare concerns. In 2020, Smithfield made headlines for one of the largest COVID-19 outbreaks in a U.S. meat plant, raising serious questions about its quality control and safety oversight. As for taste, Smithfield bacon is overly salty, oily, and artificial in flavor. The texture is inconsistent, sometimes chewy, sometimes brittle, and often leaves an unpleasant greasy film in your mouth. So while Smithfield might dominate the market, it's far from the best choice for your plate. 5. Wright Brand Bacon. At first glance, Wright Brand Bacon seems like the ultimate choice for bacon enthusiasts. The packaging boasts thick, hand-trimmed slices, real wood-smoked flavor, and a premium quality that promises to elevate your breakfast game. It's marketed as the kind of bacon that feels old-school, hearty, authentic, and worth the extra dollars. But once you dig deeper, the rustic charm starts to crumble, revealing a product that's more about clever marketing than actual quality. Let's start with the ingredients. Wright Brand Bacon proudly advertises its real wood-smoked flavor, but here's the catch. Much of that flavor comes from liquid smoke and chemical additives rather than traditional, slow smoking over hardwood. True hardwood smoking is a time-intensive process that gives bacon its rich, complex flavor. But in the world of mass production, shortcuts are the norm, and Wright Brand is no exception. What you're left with is the illusion of craftsmanship, not the real thing. The ingredient list is another red flag. Water, salt, sodium phosphate, sodium erythorbate, and sodium nitrite are all present. Sodium phosphate, for instance, is used to retain moisture and boost weight, meaning your thick-cut bacon is actually pumped with liquid. This not only inflates the price, but also compromises the texture and flavor. Sodium nitrite, as we've seen with other brands, is a preservative linked to the formation of nitrosamines, carcinogenic compounds that form when bacon is cooked at high heat. Nutritionally, Wright Brand Bacon doesn't fare much better. 2 slices pack around 440 milligrams of sodium and 8 grams of fat, nearly half of which is saturated. And because the slices are often thicker than average, you're consuming more fat and sodium per serving than you might realize. Over time, this can contribute to serious health issues like high blood pressure, heart disease, and obesity. But the problems don't stop there. In 2018, Wright Brand Bacon, owned by Tyson Foods, was involved in a recall due to potential contamination with metal shavings. While the recall was limited, it raised serious concerns about quality control in facilities that produce millions of pounds of bacon annually. And then there's the taste. While the thick slices might look appealing, they often cook unevenly, with fatty ends that burn while the center remains chewy. The flavor, which should be rich and smoky, instead comes across as overly salty with a metallic aftertaste, likely due to the chemical additives. So while Wright Brand Bacon markets itself as a premium product for true bacon lovers, the reality is far less appetizing. It's a chemical cocktail wrapped in a rustic disguise, and it's not worth the hype or the health risks. If you're looking for real quality, this is one brand you're better off skipping. 6. Boar's Head Bacon. Boar's Head is a name synonymous with premium deli meats, quality ingredients, and a no-nonsense approach to food. When you see their logo, you think of tradition, craftsmanship, and cleaner eating. But when it comes to their bacon, the story isn't as pure as their marketing would have you believe. Boar's Head markets its bacon as naturally smoked, gluten-free, and free from artificial colors or flavors. On the surface, it sounds like a dream come true for health-conscious shoppers, but dig a little deeper, and you'll find that the brand relies on celery powder and sea salt as natural curing agents. While this might sound better than synthetic sodium nitrite, the reality is that celery powder still contains nitrates. When cooked, these nitrates convert into nitrites, which can form nitrosamines, the same potentially harmful compounds linked to cancer risks. Nutritionally, Boar's Head Bacon doesn't stand out from the crowd. 2 slices contain roughly 390 milligrams of sodium and 7 grams of fat, nearly half of which is saturated. While it might look more upscale than budget brands like Great Value or Smithfield, the health impact is strikingly similar. The only real difference? You're paying a premium for the illusion of purity. Boar's Head has also faced criticism for its marketing practices. Over the years, consumer watchdog groups have called out the brand for misleading all-natural claims, not just for bacon but across its entire product line. The term natural doesn't mean chemical-free, and Boar's Head leans heavily on this word to appeal to health-conscious buyers. It's a clever marketing tactic that convinces you you're eating clean when, in reality, the same chemical reactions are happening in your pan. When it comes to taste, Boar's Head Bacon has a mixed reputation. It crisps up nicely at first, but the flavor is often overly salty, with a tough texture if overcooked. Some customers have even reported inconsistency, One batch might cook evenly and taste great, while the next burns quickly and curls up in the pan. While Boar's Head does a better job than some of the bottom-tier brands, it still falls short of being truly clean. The sodium is high, the nitrates are still present, and the natural label doesn't mean what you think it does. So while it might sit proudly in the deli case, Boar's Head bacon isn't the guilt-free choice its reputation suggests. 7. Farmland bacon. Farmland bacon is the kind of brand that looks like it belongs on a classic American breakfast table. The packaging features golden, sizzling strips of bacon, the words naturally hickory smoked printed boldly across the front, and a wholesome, homey vibe that makes you think of Sunday mornings with the family. But behind this comforting image lies a product that's far from wholesome. Farmland is owned by Smithfield Foods, one of the largest pork producers in the world, and that's where the first red flag appears. Smithfield has a long history of controversies, including industrial-scale farming practices, animal welfare issues, and environmental violation. The company has faced multiple lawsuits over pollution and unethical practices tied to its massive hog farms. So when you buy farmland, you're not just getting bacon, you're supporting a system that prioritizes profit over quality and ethics. Now, let's talk about what's actually in that strip of bacon. Farmland's classic hickory smoked variety contains sodium nitrite, sodium erythorbate, sugar, and artificial smoke flavoring. These additives might extend shelf life, but they also contribute to the formation of nitrosamines when cooked at high temperatures. Nitrosamines, as we've discussed, are compounds linked to increased cancer risk. Nutritionally, 2 slices of farmland bacon come in at around 90 calories, 8 grams of fat, and 360 milligrams of sodium. While these numbers might seem standard, the real issue lies in the quality of the ingredients. The curing process and artificial additives result in bacon that's overly salty with a chemical aftertaste. The flavor feels more like smoke in a bottle than genuine hickory smoked goodness. Even worse, Farmland markets some of its products as low sodium or naturally smoked, but these labels can be misleading. Naturally smoked often refers to liquid smoke flavoring added after the fact, not actual wood smoking. And while the low-sodium versions might reduce your salt intake slightly, they still contain preservatives and nitrites, so the health risks remain. The texture of farmland bacon is another letdown. One pack might cook up crisp and satisfying, while another turns rubbery and greasy in minutes. This inconsistency is a hallmark of mass-produced meat, where quality control often takes a backseat to quantity. So despite its classic look and family farm branding, farmland bacon is just another example of how marketing can mask the truth. If you're looking for clean, honest food, farmland doesn't make the cut. It's all smoke, salt, and preservatives, no real substance behind the shine.
Some better options.
1. Applegate Naturals. No sugar bacon. When it comes to clean eating and bacon, Applegate Naturals no sugar bacon is the gold standard. In a world where most bacon brands are loaded with artificial smoke, sodium nitrites, and a cocktail of chemical preservatives, Applegate stands out as a beacon of hope for health-conscious bacon lovers. This isn't just a brand, it's a movement toward better food, better farming, and better health. What makes Applegate truly exceptional is its commitment to doing things the right way, not the easy way. Their bacon is made from humanely raised pork, sourced from pigs that are fed a vegetarian diet and never treated with antibiotics or growth hormones. This means no factory farm horrors, no overcrowded pens, and no questionable feed. Instead, you're getting pork from animals that are treated with care and respect, a rarity in today's industrialized food system. But the real magic lies in the ingredients, or rather the lack of them. Unlike mainstream bacon brands that rely on sodium erythorbate, nitrates, and other lab-made chemicals to preserve their product, Applegate keeps it simple. Their curing process uses just sea salt, water, and a touch of celery powder for natural preservation. No hidden additives, no artificial colors, and no sneaky sweeteners. The result, a slice of bacon that tastes like it came straight from a traditional smokehouse, not a science lab. The flavor is rich, smoky, and perfectly balanced, with none of the harsh aftertaste you get from nitrite-heavy brands, and because it's no sugar added, you don't have to worry about that cloying sweetness that often sneaks into cheaper supermarket bacon. This is bacon in its purest form, just pork, salt, and smoke, the way it was meant to be. Transparency is another area where Applegate shines. Every package clearly states where the pork comes from and what's inside, with no vague natural flavoring or hidden preservatives disguised under fancy names. The brand is also certified humane, which means the pigs are raised in conditions that prioritize their well-being. This level of honesty and accountability is rare in the food industry. And it's one of the many reasons Applegate has earned a loyal following. Applegate's bacon has become a favorite among health-conscious communities including keto, paleo, and Whole30 enthusiasts. It's proof that you don't have to sacrifice flavor for health or ethics, whether you're frying it up for breakfast, adding it to a salad, or using it to wrap your favorite appetizers. Applegate delivers every time. So if you're ready to make the switch from chemical-laden bacon to something you can feel good about eating, Applegate Naturals' no-sugar bacon is the perfect place to start. It's clean, trustworthy, and delicious. A rare trifecta in the world of grocery store bacon. Because real bacon shouldn't come with a side of fear, just flavor. 2. Peterson's Natural Farms Uncured Bacon. If Applegate is the classic hero of healthy bacon, then Peterson's Natural Farms Uncured Bacon is the bold rebel rewriting the rule. Hailing from Texas, Peterson's isn't just making bacon. They're leading a revolution against the artificial ingredients and questionable practices that dominate the bacon industry. This is bacon with a mission, and it's one you'll want to get behind. Peterson's philosophy is simple. If you can't pronounce it, it doesn't belong in your food, and they've stuck to that mantra from day one. Their bacon is 100% sugar-free, nitrate-free, and nitrite-free, made from humanely raised pigs that are never treated with antibiotics or growth hormone. These pigs are allowed to roam freely and are fed a vegetarian diet, free from mystery feed and fillers. It's a level of care and transparency that's almost unheard of in the world of mass-produced bacon. The curing process at Peterson's is as minimal and natural as it gets. They use simple, recognizable ingredients like sea salt and celery powder, proving that you don't need a chemistry degree to understand your food label. This commitment to simplicity extends to every aspect of their production, from sourcing pork to packaging, ensuring that their bacon aligns with eco-friendly and ethical practices. But Peterson's isn't just about clean ingredients, it's about making bacon that fits into a healthy lifestyle. Their bacon is Whole30 approved, a rare and prestigious certification in the bacon world. This has made it a favorite among fitness coaches, nutritionists, and clean eaters who refuse to compromise on flavor. Whether you're following a keto diet, a paleo plan, or just trying to eat cleaner, Peterson's bacon is a perfect fit. And let's talk about the taste. Peterson's bacon doesn't rely on fake liquid smoke or sugary glazes to win you over. Instead, it delivers a pure, meaty richness that's both satisfying and indulgent. It crisps up beautifully in the pan, with a balanced, savory flavor that's free from the chemical aftertaste you'll find in so many other brands. This is bacon as it should be, simple, honest, and delicious. Peterson's also goes above and beyond when it comes to sustainability. Their farms prioritize animal welfare and environmental responsibility, long before these became trendy buzzwords. This isn't just a brand. It's a company that genuinely cares about the impact it has on the world. So if you're tired of bacon brands that read like a science experiment and want something truly clean, Peterson's Natural Farms is your answer. It's not just bacon. It's a statement. A statement that your breakfast deserves better than artificial smoke and chemical shortcuts.